Many renowned golf instructors, like David Leadbitter, rose to prominence due to their success as players and the natural fluidity of their swings. Leadbitter, for instance, displayed excellent mechanics during his playing days, showcasing a swing that was well-coordinated and fundamentally sound. However, when transitioning into coaching, his approach to teaching the swing shifted dramatically, introducing mechanical changes that diverged from the natural fluidity of his own swing. This phenomenon is not unique to Leadbitter, but is seen among many instructors and YouTube presenters who often promote swing techniques that differ significantly from their own actions on the course. This discrepancy can be largely attributed to neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself through repeated practice and experience. Golfers like Leadbitter and even top professionals like Tiger Woods developed their swings through years of ingrained practice, allowing their bodies to perform the movements almost automatically without conscious thought about mechanics. Their motor skills were honed through a combination of muscle memory, instinct, and external feedback rather than detailed analysis of each body part's movement. This deeply embedded learning process allows them to swing naturally without dissecting the intricate biomechanics involved. However, when it comes to teaching, these same individuals often struggle to articulate the subconscious processes driving their swings. The disconnect arises because their own swing mechanics are driven by neuroplastic adaptations, repetitive practice that ingrains the movement deep within their neural pathways, making the swing feel automatic. As a result, when attempting to explain the swing, they often rely on mechanical interpretations or flawed theories that do not accurately represent what their body is actually doing. They describe the swing based on feel or an idealized concept rather than from an analytical understanding rooted in external research. In contrast, those who study the swing from an external perspective, researching biomechanics, analyzing body movement, and understanding the forces at play, approach the swing from the outside in, providing a clearer, more scientifically grounded view. This perspective allows for a deeper grasp of the swing's true mechanics, unclouded by the automatic habits ingrained through years of play. While great players often make great swings, the ability to teach effectively requires more than personal experience. It demands a thorough, objective understanding of the swing's biomechanics and how they can be communicated accurately to others.
Two birds with one stone.
Lateral movement and lateral bend.
And lateral bend.
Cool.
But again, just in review, ribs, rotation, lateral bend, lateral movement.
Got it.
Center of mass,
Cool.
okay? The pelvis actively is in charge of one thing. It actively does one thing in the golf swing. Drops.
Drops. Okay.
So I'm not saying that it doesn't rotate. I'm just saying that it is rotating passively because the upper is commanding it to.
So because the upper spiral is rotating, that forces the pelvis to go into rotation as well?
Exactly.
We're just not looking for a dominant rotation in the pelvis.
100%. Okay. Yeah. So like most players will get to the top, and if they go rotate from here, well, number one, what am I rotating? I could rotate the femur, that would be external. I could rotate the pelvis. I could rotate my chest. I could rotate numerous different systems.
That's where people get confused a little bit, right?
Turn. What?
How?
What do I turn? Yeah, exactly. All right, Teach, so let's showcase without a golf club. You can use that stick to go ahead and hug, okay? And just in general, like the sequence of movement, like what we're doing, is really, really important. So main stuff, we need laterals and we need rotation out of the chest.
Got it.
Always, 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 always. We're getting laterals done prior to the rotation.
Interesting.
Okay, so let's move this clothesline, if you will, this shaft, right at me. Got the lateral done. Now go ahead and turn. Beautiful. Now we're gonna get the lateral done again. See where this clothesline again is appearing? Let's get the clothesline moving this way laterally first. Good. Now you can turn. So what's nice, you've moved in a few different ways that's really, really important, especially this transitional phase. Go ahead and go into the backswing again, lateral turn. So right now, if we had a pressure mat, a lot of pressure is kind of right in the arch of the trail foot.
For sure.
Probably 70-30-ish. Okay. As you laterally move, like right now, we're in lead lateral bend. So as you sway and work the lateral first here, you'll notice, and you'll feel this athletically, that you traded from the arch of the trail foot into the ball of the foot, or even the toes of the lead. And probably like, I don't know, 60-40-ish.
Exactly.
Roughly. But now you've got yourself in lateral bend in the trail side. You haven't rotated yet.
Not yet.
Which is great. But now, if we want to turn, we got the pressure in this lead foot, and now I can go perpendicular this way. As you start to turn and curve, there you go. Where do you feel the pressure really go?
That way.
Yes, and that's almost what you're showing right now. This position is really close to impact. It might be just barely post-impact, but you've gone from, in transition, kind of what would have been P5, into the, there you go. That would be roughly delivery, so the golf club would be back in here in space. And now as you start to turn, the golf club would look like it's in here. And you've gone all the way from like somewhat into the toes, definitely in the balls of your foot, all the way into like the outermost,
Yep.
That's all rotation and turn from these lead joints curving out of there.
So what's happening down here in the foot complex is really driven by what we're doing in the upper spiral.
Exactly.
Okay.
When we're kind of going into this even deeper, like the sequence of this movement, let's go ahead and set up again with your clothesline. The whole look here is lateral. Good, maintain deflection. Now turn and maintain deflection. There's number 2. Now we would drop. Good. Drop with the rib sway. There you go. Now we're in delivery. And from there, you're just going to keep turning the chest. You've already gone lateral enough. We're going to keep turning all the way up into the finish. Beautiful. That little exercise right there, just like freezing them out, is a great way to like really start to feel what moves really are happening and the sequence of movement. The hardest thing, yeah, go ahead.
And as people get better at the spacing them out, the freezing them out, they can start to blend those movements together, right?
Yeah, and just, well, and I think even maybe, because blending sounds like they all happen at once, which they don't, right? There's still a sequence, but we're just buffing off the transitional areas of each movement.
So it's a smooth transition in between each movement instead of
lateral rotation.
By no means are we saying it's position, right? It all flows in between.
Yep, exactly, which we need to have. The only thing that's difficult is transition, because we have the lateral movement of the ribs and the drop of the pelvis happening at the same time.
Same time.
So we have 2 simple movements. Like, this is not that complex.
No.
This is not complex.
Nope.
Right? But when they happen together, it's like rubbing the top of your head and your stomach in opposite directions at the same time.
Yeah.
Each act is simple.
Yeah.
But you've got to be able to manage the drop and the lateral movement of the ribs.
Definitely.
Yep. So leveraged here. And if you wanted the lead arm to lift as well, just to get to the top, you're more than welcome to do that. Beautiful. Now from there, we would see drop and the lateral movement of the ribs going this way. There's beautiful transition. Now we would just turn all the way up into finish while letting the golf club unload. Boom. Beautiful. Let's see that again, just in freezer.